Hi, my name is Glenn Charlton. I'm Director of Professional Services for the X3 team at the Answer Company. I've been with the Answer Company about 14 years, implementing X3, I think about 12 years now. And I'm going to go through a number of solutions that we've put together for customers over the years. And these are various solutions that we've built to help address needs of the market. And it's just general solutions that different customers have required over the last 10 or 12 years. And to try to simplify how this looks and to put a structure around it, I've broken these down into different groupings. So I have finance, distribution, e-commerce, EDI, electronic data interchange, and a couple of other items. And these could actually be broken into perhaps market segments, whether it's distribution companies, food processors, these sorts of things. But I can always go through that with you. If you're interested in seeing more of any of these solutions, we can talk about them. And we could also look at what else we've brought to market. This is just a sample of some of the items that we have looked at over the years. So jumping right in. In the finance group, we have what I've been calling the cross-border electronic funds transfer and automated clearinghouse transactions solution, which is our EFT and ACH transactions for Canadian and US banking. Now, what's interesting is X3 does have a solution for EFT and ACH. The problem with this is it isn't really a seamless solution. When you start getting into banking, like many of the Canadian companies have, where you might have a US dollar bank account, but you're actually paying, you're making payments to suppliers in the USA, so they have a US account, but of course they're clearing the transactions through automatic clearinghouse or ACH, or you might have suppliers in Canada that you're also working with in US funds, but they would want to have the transactions clear in EFT. This solution really takes all of that into consideration and looks at who it is you're trading with and sends the appropriate file formats. And in addition to that, we have email notifications with payment details that we send out. And it's all rolled into a nice, clean solution that we've put together, and can roll it actually very quickly to your environment. So if you have this cross-border EFT or ACH challenge, let us know. We'd be happy to help you out with it, and we can drop the solution in and get you rolling on this fairly quickly. Also in the finance area, we have our automated daily exchange rate updates. Now, this is a pretty basic solution. It's for the companies that are updating their exchange rates on a daily basis. It reaches out to the Bank of Canada and it retrieves the noon daily rate for all of the indicated currencies. And really, it's a great way just to avoid the risk of potential key punch errors in data entry, and it takes away this one repetitive task. If you're only dealing with perhaps a couple of currencies and you update them once a week or once a month, this is probably not the right solution for you. But if you are looking for daily updates, it's a great way to go. It drops right in and it really makes life a lot easier. Looking also in the financial area, we have the ability to extend the AR statements that you're sending to your customers. As you're likely aware, the existing or current statement functionality in X3 will just list the open balance on account for any of your customers. What it doesn't show is the customer's payment history or how the payments were applied to your invoices. This solution does show that. It shows the invoices from a specific period of time, and even if they've been fully paid and cleared in that period, it would still show the invoice or list it and which check or payment was made against it, what portion of that payment was applied to this one invoice. And a single payment, of course, could be applied to many different invoices, and it would detail all of those payments out. So it's a great way to provide a detailed statement to your customers. Okay. Also in the finance area, we have environmental handling fees. Now, EHF is when you charge your customers for either the packaging or the contents for what you're selling. So if you have plastic bottles, aluminum cans, or the contents being oil, antifreeze, or perhaps a soda pop, these can all have different rate schedules that you have to charge your customers. This solution lets us gather the information. We accrue the liability to be making the payment back to the government, but we also give you the information for filling in the government forms easily and making the payment back to the government at the end of the period. So it's a very quick and simple solution and nails the reporting requirements. For import-export companies, you'll be familiar with duty drawbacks. If you import significant amounts of goods and you then turn around and export these same goods, when you pay the import duties, if you send it back out of the country, you may be eligible for drawing back a portion of the duties that were already paid. So this solution tracks in detail all of the amounts paid originally and then where those goods were actually shipped. So if you were to bring in a large quantity and ship a portion of it domestically, and then some amount of it was exported, and more goods were brought in at perhaps a different price, duty rate, whatever else, and subsequently shipped domestically or exported, this tracks quantities brought in, shipped domestically and exported, and it can give you the details you require, again, for government reporting and your duty drawback claims. Now, one of the details about this is that you do actually require the import tracking module to be in place, since this is intended for customers that are importing large quantities of goods, and it does make use of the data that is contained in the container of goods for the import tracking module. So moving on to trade and distribution. Within the trade and distribution section, I have what we call our trade spend module. Now, we also have a specific session dedicated just to the trade spend module in this Propel series, but I did want to at least make you aware of the existence of the solution and just give you a bit of a teaser on this. So for customers that sell through retail outlets, you're likely very familiar with the concept of trade management or trade promotions, trade spend. And this is when your customers charge back to you when they make payment. So you might invoice them for $10,000, but they say, well, we have a 2% claim that we could make, so we're only going to pay you $9,800, and we will, in effect, clear our $10,000 invoice. So they short pay, and it's left to you to reconcile if they have actually taken the appropriate claim. So depending upon the industry that you're in, trade spend can amount to more than 10% of the actual revenues, and managing these amounts taken can be a full-time task. So our solution allows for promotions to be established, customers to take the trade deductions, and for administrators to easily reconcile the deduction taken versus what was originally offered. So there could be multiple levels of trade promotions that are offered, and this lets you reconcile across all of the offers. The solution gives insight into the trade promotion lifecycle and an easy to understand dashboard for visibility of promotion status. The solution can easily pay for itself just in the reduction of resources to manage the trade spend program, not to mention improved access to information or improved control of our customers taking more than they actually should. So for companies that are primarily in manufacturing, but this could also apply to distribution organizations, we have a solution called Product Lot Characteristics. And this was originally created for a very specific type of industry, allowing us to document and, in effect, pre-receive goods and know very specifically all of the details of these goods before they actually entered our inventory. So we've taken this specific solution and turned it turn this into more of a general purpose application, which can now be used by our customers so they can receive goods and at the dock document all of the details that they require on it, on the items they receive. And if the items fall outside of specific parameters, then you could even refuse the receipt and the goods never even enter X3 inventory. Also in trade and distribution, we have the product lot characteristics solution. This is a solution that we've had in place for a number of years, and it was originally targeting our honey industry customers. And we've grown this for use as a general purpose solution across a variety of customer types. The solution allows us to document details about the goods before it ever enters inventory. If goods fall outside of the specific parameters, then you may consider refusing receipt. And these characteristics can carry forward across X3. So the receipt details or pre-receipt details that you've entered are actually available for later use across the application. Also, for these food customers, we have extended the lot traceability solution. So for companies needing to perform forward or backward traceability, the standard X3 solution works very well and delivers accurate results. As we move into complex environments with a large number of transactions on a variety of lot numbers, common semi-finished goods being tracked into a variety of finished goods, or generally very complex traceability requirements, we found that X3 can struggle with the reporting needs. As a result, we've created a solution that delivers very high performance reporting through all lot traceability levels and can be a significant benefit to meeting audit requirements. Also in trade and distribution, we have e-commerce. We offer a dedicated Propel session that speaks to general e-commerce with Sage X3, but I wanted to mention that the Answer Company has delivered 2 solutions of our own, plus we have expertise and experience to spin off others fairly quickly. The 2 that we've already brought out are for Shopify, a business-to-customer solution. With our solution, there's 2-way data flow for customer data, products, pricing, inventory availability, and the integration continues to grow. Your customer hits your website, places orders, and they experience standard shopping cart functionality. They check out, and the order flows directly from Shopify to Sage X3 using web services. There's no additional user intervention required. Another solution that we have is for HubSpot. This is actually a B2B solution, so business to business. HubSpot can offer many of the benefits of Shopify, but it also lets your B2B customer self-serve with AR history, invoice details, statements, balances due, etc. Again, there's 2-way data synchronization. Orders entered in HubSpot appear directly in Sage X3, also with no user intervention. We've already worked on outlining integrations for other solutions, and we're just waiting actually for a customer to hold up their hand and say they're looking for something else. But these ones are currently available and they're in use right now. For customers working with EDI, or if you need an EDI solution, we have extensive experience and history with EDI, and we've worked with partners like TrueCommerce, SPS Commerce, and we've extended the solutions that are already out there. So we have extended TrueCommerce significantly. For SPS, we actually, the one standard integration is with Mapadoc, but we also have the Answer Company's integration, which we can use in place of Mapadoc, depending upon the types of documents that you need to trade and the sophistication of the solution you actually require. Other custom solutions that we have are supplier integration for 850 and 855 documents, and we commonly see this in use with companies like SP Richards. Plus, we have a Genius Central integration. So third-party solutions do exist, but we can tailor certain solutions to your needs, depending upon your level of requirements for EDI. Finally, we have what I call some of the other solutions. And I'll just mention two of them here. You may be familiar with the workflow emails of X3. So workflow in X3 can be extended in many different ways, and you can use this for customer communications or supplier communications. However, if you have used the workflow email, you'll be familiar with the plain text format that it exists in. Our solution allows you to format workflows using HTML emails. So you can brand this and make it look like your email, something that you are actually happy to send to your customers. And it can use data grids and data that's pulled directly from X3. So all of the standard workflow functionality, but it would actually be embedded as HTML. So it's far more attractive, and it works well for customer communications. And one other item, UPC auto number generation. If you do have UPC numbers that you're producing for your own products, this is a great solution, so you're not having to actually generate checksums in another application. And it will auto-generate directly in X3. When you create a product code, you could tell it to create the UPC number on product creation, or we could actually have it at the click of a button. And we can have separate functionality based upon import of products versus products that are created through the user interface. So UPC numbers, you'll have your company code and then a series that is dedicated to you. And this uses all of the standard functionality that you would expect with UPC number generation. So this is just a sample. What I wanted to do is just give you a bit of a teaser as to some of the items that we do have out there, and let you know that we have other functionality that we'd be happy to discuss with you, and ways that we could look at making your life easier. Sage X3 is a great tool, but we know that it actually does have some spots where we can always improve it, and these are just some of the spots where we've added to the to X3 over the years. Let us know if you'd like to explore other options with us. We'd be happy to connect with you. Thanks very much for your time today.